Hi, I'm Dennis Morgeson, agent for horticulture for Washington County. Today I wanted to talk about growing potatoes in a bag. You may have seen some of these grow bags that they're starting to sell now. Some of them are hemmed, some of them are not. These happen to be hemmed, and these are this polyester kind of fabric. These are pretty cheap if you buy them in bulk. When I say pretty cheap, these are 3-gallon containers, and you can get up down to 1 gallon, up to 15-gallon, whatever you want. It just makes it really easy and cheap a container for you to grow some flowers or even vegetables in. Some of them, people may not like the look of these, but they are nice, especially for growing vegetables, because they're really cheap and you can get more than one season out of them. Usually maybe 3 to 5, depending on what they're made out of. But these are pretty thick. These actually even have little handles on them, so if you need to move your plants, you can move your plants this way. And also these are hemmed, which will help them last a little bit longer and keep the edges from folding down. Today I wanted to talk about growing potatoes in a container or in a bag, because a lot of people think that you have to grow potatoes in the ground just like you do like your other vegetables, but a lot of our vegetables actually are well suited for growing in containers, and potatoes being one of those as well. A couple things on potatoes. It is time to plant. We could have planted anywhere from mid-March all the way up until probably May the 1st, and then if you want to do a late planting, you would go in end of June sometime. Usually our early planting, which would be now, is going to give you your best yields. There's a couple ways you can plant these. First off, you got to get seed potatoes. You could save your own. You just run more risk for overwintering some diseases and things if you do that. But if you buy your seed potatoes, make sure you get them from a reputable dealer, and ones that know that they've been certified, inspected to make sure they didn't have any diseases on them. Your potatoes come in different sizes, just like they do from the store when you buy them for seed potatoes. Well, a lot of people want bigger ones or smaller ones, whatever, to plant. I'm going to give you a few tips. These smaller ones, when they're this size, you can plant them directly, the whole potato. With planting the whole potato like this and getting these small ones, you run less risk of having the potatoes rot before they actually start to grow. And you can see these are already starting to sprout, which is good because they're going to sprout a lot faster once you put them into the soil. So these, I will plant these 3, we will just in a minute, into this container. This is a 3-gallon container, which is basically the size, a big enough size to grow 1 hill of potatoes. So if you want to grow a few hills of potatoes right on your patio or right in your backyard, not have to till soil, this is a great way to do it. Now, these seed potatoes and these seed potatoes are in the same bag. So we have some large ones and some small ones. You can plant what you want, or usually, me, it's whatever is left or what's in the bag. But if you get these large ones, you need to cut these down to size. You could plant that whole potato, but it's kind of wasteful whenever you can get more than 1 heel out of this one potato. And you can see the eyes on here. Some of the eyes have broken, some of them haven't. That's just where they're growing. When you cut these, you need to cut these, and this is called, whenever you cut these and you let them heal for a few days, it's called chitting with a CH. You can do it, you don't have to do it. It's recommended that you do it. I've planted both ways. Haven't seen a great difference in the potatoes, except the years that the seed corn maggots were out and got into my seed potatoes. It was a year that I cut them, did not let them chit, and we had a lot more rotten potatoes in the ground like that. So by cutting these, you just want to make sure you get at least 3 eyes per potato. So you can see there's a lot of eyes up here on this end. I'm going to go ahead and cut that crossways and make sure that I get, there's probably 5 eyes on that now. So there's an eye, one there, one there, one there. So I can get another cut out of that, or I can do it this way. It's totally up to you. I'm going to do it this way. Main reason was because that's the way my grandmother used to always do it. She would cut them in pieces about this size. So what I'm going to do is let these sit for a couple days. It's up to you, however long you want to let them sit. Usually 2 to 3 days, this will be dried and healed over and starting to shrivel a little bit. Then it'll be time to plant. So you can see that's 3 seed potato pieces now. That's enough for 1 heel. And then I also have these smaller whole potatoes that I purchased, and that's enough for 1 heel. So we can make another heel out of this potato if we had another container, which I don't know if I'll do another container or not, but we have them here if we wanted to. So all we need to do with these, there's no drainage hose because this is a material that allows water to go through, so we don't need drainage hose. So all we have to do is get these out, put some soil in them, and pot them up. I bought these, I don't know if I said it or not, but I bought these from an online store that you all know, and I think I got 30 of them for like, I don't know, $2 a piece. So if you wanted to plant a nice vegetable garden on your patio or out back and didn't want to till the soil, these are a good option. What side of soil we want to put in here? We don't ever want to put garden soil in a container. It just packs down and gets too hard in a container, so we're going to use a potting mix. This is the same potting mix that I used to transplant seedlings a week ago. It's the same potting mix that I would put in my containers outside if I was getting ready to plant. And you can tell by the bag, you can guess the brand, but usually I'll pick a pretty good brand to grow my plants in, only because that I know that it has got the nutrients in it. It's got perlite and peat and bark and all the things in it, and also it's not going to bring any diseases in, so we don't want to start any diseases when we don't have to. So just buy a good quality brand that you trust and you'll get a good product. So on these, we're growing potatoes, remember, so we're only going to fill this about halfway full to start with. So we're going to go ahead and put the soil in here. Give me a second. I should have gotten a scoop, I guess, shouldn't I? So we're up to about almost halfway. So we get a little bit more. So we're at about halfway. Still kind of, you know, this potting soil's not very heavy, so it's pretty light. So we're going to take our 3 seed pieces and we're going to put them in as a little triangle, give them a little room. We're just going to push them right into that soil. Doesn't matter which way you turn these. These have eyes all the way around. They'll find their way up. Plant them sideways, whatever. Now, if I was planting these cut pieces, and if I had time, I would go ahead and turn them up with where the cut was down and the eyes were pointing up. Doesn't make any difference. Plants all know which way is up. So we're going to stick these in here, and we're going to add about maybe 2 more inches of soil on top. And that's all we're going to need to do for now. Kind of firmed in a little bit. So you can see we still have, 4 or 5 inches of pot here to go yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, set this outside and water them. I'm in full sun. Potatoes need full sun. And once they start to grow, when they get a little bit of length on them, we'll start backfilling soil up around them until we get that soil up to about 1 inch from the top of the surface of this container. And that'll just leave us enough room to water them well where the water can soak in. So we'll probably backfill maybe twice before we get up there. So once the plants get about 4 or 5 inches tall, we'll add another 1 or 2 inches of soil, and then another 4 or 5 inches growth, we'll add another few inches until we get up there. Don't want to cover the leaves, but what we'll do is once these are ready for you all to come in here, or for me to come in here and add the soil, we'll do another video and just show you what they look like and how to add that soil. If you have any questions about growing potatoes in bags or any kind of vegetable for that matter, or flowers, whatever horticulture questions you have, you can call me at the Washington County Extension Office at 859-336-7741. Happy gardening.